Hello, everybody. I'm Chief at Cajun Navy, Amy Metz. We are looking at Ashland, Kansas, where Storm Chaser Scott Peak is right now. This is currently a situation where there had been flooding in Kansas earlier today. It is September 8th, 5:15 Central on Monday. And so some conditions out there earlier, I will backtrack a little bit in his stream and show you some of the storm clouds out there are showing the possibility of potential wall cloud development. And then there's a couple places, excuse me here. It's not going where I wanted it to, but we have a couple of places that have possible potential for tornado activity. So there is no tornado watch out right now. And what I'm going to show you then is the reason for that potential, mostly coming out of our Baron software. So turning that on and switching to it, I will bring you some of that information now. There are these storms. Let me just double check here too. Yeah, on the very left of the screen, we can see the circles. This is a Baron weather model. That I'm going to open up and kind of explain to you a little bit because these storms, first and foremost, location wise, are going to be centered between Oklahoma and Kansas tonight, mostly in the western side. And so, what we have are these critical weather indicators pegged right now. So, if I turn that off, it disappears. If I go under the severe, we can go and learn what that really means. And so, they're showing there that they have the potential for some tornadoes in this area. And again, what we're seeing on the ground then has been some wall cloud development, not really any big rotation right now, but something to keep an eye on. Also layered in here, I'll go ahead and turn off that critical weather indicator now. So you can see the hail path along with the high resolution reflectivity. So future radar it plays out at the end there. But what we're seeing with these purple lines are going to be the hail tracks. And so the current radar that was just north of Buffalo did have some of those larger hailstones in them. And then that would be the storm there that had that development and that what's called the newer exclusive model from Barron, which is that critical weather indicator. So seeing here going toward freedom now is going to be an area that we need to watch for more storm activity becoming more dangerous. And then as we look toward the east tonight, Wichita, it falls a little bit further down line from that severe weather parameter. I'll go ahead and pull up this Storm Prediction Center's outline here in just a moment. But really, this cell here is one to watch closely. And then heading into the panhandle of Texas. So this is also an area that's pegged today for the severe weather possibilities. And then here's our Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. So that includes Dodge City, not quite Amarillo, but still don't be surprised if some of these become severe warned. I'll go ahead and open up that indicator right now and see where our watches and warnings are, and then get rid of the outlook for today because we do have weather watches in there to watch out for. So I'll play this and you guys can get an idea of how quick these storms are moving, where they're going, and then I'll get up some more information here for you real quick. And then check back in with Scott, who's on the ground there in Kansas right now in the center of all of this. So our severe thunderstorm watch now so far has at least produced these seven, some of these tracking for quite a while, and then now one just barely outside of that coming into play. And so some of these others heading into New Mexico could also become pretty strong, but we're seeing that larger hail centered right around that Storm Prediction Center's area. And then don't be surprised if some of these cells here going from Texas into an hour or two also start producing some hail. No, and then also damaging wind. So another thing to remember is just how much rain fell. It looks like I don't have the map up that had the rainfall from earlier, so I'll close one and let you see just how much rain had fallen, because that's another hazard they're dealing with in northern Kansas, where a lot of this large hail fell not yesterday, but a few days ago that we had been broadcasting in McPherson with Scott again. And so after today's event, we see that even more fell. And some of these areas have been flooded up to the streets, into some of the businesses, and that's in parts of Kansas where we see the outlines in the red. So more than a foot of rain fell in a lot of those areas. Now, going through the night, we're going to keep seeing these storms get stronger for the next few hours, and I'm going to just take a look here at what is up with the stream here too. So we're not seeing anything too new on his side of things. I will make sure that that is on the latest bit of his chase here. Yeah, because it did get hung up there. So restarting that, we can see some of that cloud development from earlier and getting it closer up until just 30 seconds ago. This is what Scott is looking at in Ashland, Kansas. So things are now back on track with being updated here. And you can see how some of that cloud development is coming together in a way that, we could be starting to see some drop downs, some bits of funnels. But again, we don't have a tornado watch out there. This is just the way the wind shear is setting up. It's not totally out of the question. Speaking of hail, and wind, such has been and go ahead and get back to showing that was the sun opened up and we warning now actually inside of it is when he's on. So there's a tornado warning in Ashland right now. I'll make sure he knows. And I'm going to switch this over to the base velocity here in just a moment. I'm sure he's seen it. I had just sent him a note about it.